Disclaimer. This video and class are for educational purposes only. This isn't counseling and it's not therapy. If you're feeling really sad and depressed, and especially if you're feeling like you want to hurt yourself, please get help right away. Go to a counselor, a doctor, please go to somebody. And if you need to start learning about the risks of suicide, I want you to go to suicide.org. Sorry to start so heavy, but I don't want anyone else getting hurt from this awful friggin' disease. So it seems like an easy way to start this would be to ask a question. After all, this is going to be the introduction to the HealingPath class for children of alcoholics. What do you do in a class? You learn. That means you get asked a lot of questions. So I'm going to start with what seems like an easy question. What do you know about being the child of an alcoholic? Sounds simple. Sounds easy. Okay, so then take a moment and think of your answer. Okay, all set? So is your answer something like this? Answer 1. I have no friggin' idea. That's why I'm here. Okay, maybe you went more of a straightforward kind of way. Answer 2. Of course I know. It means having a mom or a dad who came home drunk, made life harder, and I don't really want to think about it. Okay, answer 3. Maybe you went more of a hamster wheel route. It means I had to work harder than everybody else. It means I could never be good enough, no matter how hard I tried. It means I needed an A+ when I only got an A, and it means I'm probably still not good enough. Answer 4, the reflective route. It means that I was denied my childhood. It means I was the parent. It means I never had a chance to do the things that other kids did. And lastly, perhaps you went the angry route, as in answer 5. It means I'm pissed off. I was pissed off then, and I'm even angrier now. It means my parents cared more about the booze than they cared about me. And it means that I'm left cleaning up their crap many years later. I barely covered the tip of the iceberg with those first 5. The list could go on and on. The thing is, every answer is right to this question. They're all correct. But in the end, every answer is incomplete. Most COAs, children of alcoholics, struggle to really understand what our alcoholic childhoods have done to us. On the outside, we hear some butt-headed people, tell us that we should shut up, that we should stop whining and get over it. The past is the past, you need to move forward, not backward, etc. To those people, I say shut up. You have no idea what you're talking about. One of the metaphors I use to try and get people to understand the impact of an alcoholic childhood is the old story of the 3 blind men trying to describe an elephant. The first feels his tusks and declares an elephant is like a hard, smooth bone that narrows to a point. The next blind man feels the elephant's trunk and declares that the elephant is like a big, hairy snake. The final blind man feels the elephant's leg and declares that the elephant is like a big, wrinkly tree. On some level, each blind man is correct, but overall, each has a definition that is too narrow to be useful. Just as an elephant is the sum of its parts, so are we. But if you answer the question about what it means to be a child of an alcoholic with a sentence or two, you're missing the whole elephant. So here's a working definition for you to get things started. Being a child of an alcoholic means that while you were learning to be a human being, you were doing so with a skewed idea of the world. The people who were teaching you to be a human being were caught up in an addiction that rendered them either less capable or in some really bad circumstances incapable of giving you the lessons you really needed to learn. As a result, it is and has been harder for you to, now fill in the blank with any number of problems or issues, such as it has been harder for you to stay married, it has been harder for you to not want to kill yourself, it has been harder for you to not do drugs and alcohol, it has been harder for you to have lasting, loving relationships, and on and on and on. Alrighty, that brings us near the end of the first video. Let me give you a couple details about the class. The videos that follow go along the same curriculum Families in Recovery uses in our physical class, but being online, some of the rules go out the window. In general terms, the first class helps you to find a working definition of alcoholism. The second class helps you to understand the impacts of alcoholism on childhood. The third class helps you to understand the impacts of alcoholism on adulthood. And the final class helps you to think about the next steps in the healing process. Since this is a web video, Each class will have to be broken into smaller sections. A couple final details. Families in Recovery is a small nonprofit organization. If you find this class useful, please consider making a donation at familiesinrecovery.org. We're not charging for this class, but your donations will help us to keep things going, so please consider doing so. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to join the discussion on the site, familiesinrecovery.org. We do require registration, but there is no cost in doing so, and having a place to process this information might help. Thanks for listening.